Hello Finxters and welcome to a new Pandas tutorial. In this tutorial we will learn about the Pandas function merge ordered. And this is a function that performs a merge with optional interpolation, and it is especially useful for ordered data like time series data. To get started, we will create two data frames, df1 and df2. Therefore we first of all import the Pandas library, and then we create the two data frames, which both contain a date column and a price column. And this is how they look like. So this here is df1, and here we have df2. They look quite similar. And now that we've created these two, we can now perform our first merge ordered operation. I will explain what I'm doing here in a minute. So we apply the merge function and merge ordered function, and we put in the two data frames as the first two arguments of the function. And that's because these are the data frames that we want to merge. And the third parameter is the on parameter. And we set this parameter equal to date, or the string date, because this parameter expects a column or list of columns that we want to perform the merge on, which in our case is the date column. And we can see that the outputted data frame is longer than the two initial data frames that we had. And that's because by default the merge order function performs an outer join. And that means we use the union of keys from both our data frames. So there were 8 unique dates in total, so the resulting data frame here now has 8 rows in total as well. But we will see other types of joins later on in the video. We also get two price columns, price X and price Y, and for each date we had a price from the left data frame, that's price X, and from the right data frame, that's price Y. And if there's a NaN value, that means for this specific date we have only one price value. For example, for the 16th of January 2019, we do not get a price Y value because this date only is found in the first data frame, so we don't get a value for price Y, because this column represents the second data frame. And as we can see, there are a few NaN values here, but we can get rid of these NaN values by replacing these values with their previous value. So we achieve that by applying the fill method parameter. Therefore, we essentially perform the same merge ordered operation, but we add the fill method parameter here and set it equal to ffill, which stands for forward fill. And if we execute that, we can see that we don't have any more missing values. And for example, the NaN value in the price Y column for the date 16th of January 2019, which was NaN before, was replaced by the previous value, which is 14.6, as we can see in the new data frame. So this parameter, or this the ffill method here, fits the NaN values with a value that was in the same column but one row above, basically. And if there are multiple missing values directly one after the other, as we've had here in the last 2 rows, all the missing values get replaced by the last available value, basically. So in this example here, the last 2 values from the price X column are missing, and they were both replaced by the value of the third last row, which was 21.2. And in this example, in the example that we've seen in the examples that we've seen by now, the two price columns were named price X and price Y by default, but we can change these labels by applying the suffixes parameter. Therefore, I can just again copy this, and I'm adding the suffixes parameter. And I set it equal to this. So, yeah, basically we performed the same merge ordered operation again, but we added the suffixes parameter, and we have assigned a list here with the strings underscore left df and right df. And the two price columns in the resulting data frame are now called price left df and price right df. And yes, we can see, or also as the parameter name suggests, we only changed the suffixes here, not the whole label. That's why the column labels still say price before the suffixes, because the initial column label was price as well, and we only added the suffixes here after the label, basically. And yeah, as I said earlier about the joins, there are different kinds of joins, and by default this merge ordered function performs an outer join, but we can of course change that by applying the how parameter. And another type of join that we will see now is the so-called inner join, which uses the intersection of keys from both data frames. Therefore, we perform basically the same merge ordered operation again, but this time we leave out the suffixes. It's not that important here. And we apply the how parameter, set it equal to the string inner. And yeah, as I said, this now uses the intersection of both keys from both data frames. So this resulting data frame is a bit shorter because we only get the dates that are found in both our data frames. There are two more options that we have for the how parameter. The first one is left, which performs a left join. So with the left join uses only the keys from the left data frame, basically. And yeah, the opposite basically to that is the right join, which uses only the keys from the right data frame. And yeah, we can now, for the last part of this tutorial, we will modify the data frame 1 a little bit. We actually just add a category column. Like that. I also have to call it df1 here. So basically, as I said, we're just adding an additional column category which categorizes the dates and prices to either A or B, and data frame 2 remains unchanged. It's the same as before. And yeah, now we apply another parameter, which is called left by, and we assign it the value category, or the string category. I will explain what this does in a minute. So as we can see, the resultant data frame is quite long. And this way we group the left data frame by the category column, and we merge that piece by piece with the right data frame. And when we look at the resulting data frame, we can observe that, for example, the price X entry for the date 18th of January of 2019 in row 3 is nan, although there is an entry for the date in df1. However, in df1, that date is assigned to the category B. So in the merged data frame, the price X value for the date 18th of January 2019 is found in row 9 with category B. So there is not a nan value compared to row 3. And yeah, basically the same is possible for if we had a group column in the right data frame, and we would then use the right by parameter instead of left by. And yeah, that was the tutorial. We have learned how to use the Pandas function merge ordered. We saw how to apply the various parameters and how to use the different types of joins, and we learned how to group by group columns. And yeah, that was the tutorial. I hope you learned it. I hope you liked it, and I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.